Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind the Country Chic Cottage. I'm going to show you how to make bookmarks, and I'm going to show you how to make them 3 ways. So you can make them with paper, you can add vinyl to an acrylic bookmark that you purchase, or you can cut some faux leather and add HTV to it. Whichever method you choose, you can make cute bookmarks to give as gifts to friends that love to read, or if you love to read, be sure to make some extras for yourself. So now let's dive right into Cricut Design Space and I'll show you how to upload the files to make these bookmarks. First, we'll need to get the file into Cricut Design Space. These instructions are the same no matter which of the bookmarks you're creating. So you're going to click Upload, Upload Image, then find the file on your computer. Click Continue, and then Upload. Once you have the file on your computer, click it and click Ungroup, and that will ungroup the file. We're going to make these a few different ways. This top version, I'm going to make from paper. So I'm going to cut one of these from one color of paper and the other one from another color of paper. The second version, I'm going to add vinyl onto a pre-made bookmark. You may need to resize this depending on the bookmark you purchase, and I also made these stars individual cuts so you can move those around if they don't work on the bookmark that you picked. This version I'm going to cut faux leather as well as HTV, so the bookmark will be out of faux leather and this portion will be out of HTV. Now you could delete off the pieces that you did not want, or you can change the colors of these to a different color to indicate the material color, and that way it will put it on different mats. So be sure to do that before you click Make It. So this is my paper bookmark, and now I can click Make. For the bookmark that is vinyl on paper, you might need to resize it or even move some of the elements around. Be sure to attach everything together before hitting Make. Once you hit Make, you can see that everything is attached together on your screen, and go ahead and process the bookmarks. If you're doing the faux leather bookmark with the HTV, after you click Make, be sure to mirror the HTV. The faux leather portion that's going to cut out of the leather itself does not have to be mirrored, but the HTV will need to be mirrored before you cut it. After you click Make, click on a mat for these materials. If you're using Cricut Smart Vinyl or Smart Iron-On, then you would click without a mat, or both ways if you need some on a mat and some without. Now that we've uploaded the file, the first one we're going to make is this bookmark out of paper. So this is just 2 sheets of cardstock in my case. However, I will cover, if you have thinner cardstock, how to add more pieces to this bookmark to make it as thick as you would like. So let's take a look at how to cut and assemble the paper bookmark. For the bookmarks out of paper, you will need cardstock, and this is cardstock from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. Then you'll need some kind of glue to put them together, and I love this Barely Art Precision Craft Glue with the tips. And then I like to add a tassel to my bookmark, so I have these pre-made tassels. Then you'll just need your Cricut machine. So I already covered how to upload that design, so now let's cut the bookmarks out of the paper. To cut the cardstock, you'll add it to your Cricut mat. And I like to use a brayer to make sure it's down on the mat well. This is optional. Then we'll load that mat into the machine. And for the Joy and the Joy Extra, you'll click Go on your screen. The Cricut Joy Extra will then cut your cardstock pieces. Once the cut is complete, click Unload on your screen. Then you'll remove your paper pieces from the mat. It's better to turn your mat over to remove those to minimize curling. I used a medium cardstock setting to cut the cardstock from 12 by 12 Card Shop. Your settings will depend on the thickness of your cardstock and where you purchase it, but you can play around with different settings. Now I'm going to cut the rest of my pieces for the paper bookmarks. Then once you have both your pieces, the back of the piece that has the most letters is the one I like to use. I'm just going to do a little bit of glue. I like to make sure all these small pieces at least get a little glue to hold them down. And then once you have that, all that's left to do is to add the 2 paper pieces together. Now you can cut more back pieces if you are not happy with the thickness of 2 pieces of cardstock. So it's going to depend on how thick your cardstock is, but you can cut more back pieces and layer them if you want a thicker bookmark. Then I'll just let this dry and add the tassel to complete it. Next up, you can use any type of pre-made bookmark. I'm choosing clear acrylic, but you could choose any type of pre-made bookmark. And you could add a vinyl saying or a vinyl design to the front. So let's take a look at how to do that with your Cricut machine. So for the bookmarks with the vinyl on them, you will need pre-made bookmarks. So this is what the bookmark looks like when it comes to me, and you just peel back the protective coating on both sides. It's like an opaque protective coating. Once you peel that back, you'll have a clear bookmark ready to add vinyl to. And then I'm going to use 2 different colors of vinyl, and this is the Cricut Value Vinyl along with the Value Transfer Tape. The type of vinyl really doesn't matter, but you might want a permanent vinyl. Then you'll need some type of weeding hook. Let's take a look at how to cut this version out of vinyl. To make the vinyl bookmarks, you'll add the vinyl to the mat. Now for adhesive vinyl, you do not mirror your design in Cricut Design Space, so be sure to keep that in mind. And for vinyl, you want the liner side down on the mat or the product side that has a sticky backing up. Since I'm using the Cricut Value Vinyl, I picked Value Vinyl as my material setting. Once you load your mat, you'll just click Go on your screen to start your cut. Then the Cricut machine will cut your vinyl. Once it's done cutting, you'll click Unload on your screen to remove the mat. Now let's take a look at weeding and applying this vinyl. Then for your vinyl, you want to weed everything around the outside edge, as well as things like the centers of letters. Anything that you don't want on your bookmark should be removed during this step. Then I have a small piece of transfer tape. You can really start with either of these. I'm going to go ahead and start with the largest portion here. I'm going to add it to my transfer tape and then burnish that well. Then you'll just peel back the backing from that vinyl, and you want to leave all of the vinyl on your transfer tape. Then, because this is 2 colors, we need to line up the second color. So line it up, grab it, again, burnish well. Once again, peel back the backing from the vinyl. This time you want all of the vinyl on your transfer tape. Then once you have that, it is time to add this to the bookmark itself. Again, I've removed any protective coating from this clear acrylic. We can just locate this wherever we want on the bookmark. Then I'm going to press it down. And you'll want to burnish this really well. Then peel back that transfer tape. This time the vinyl should stay on your bookmark. Once that's all in place, you might want to burnish down a little more, make sure it's stuck well. I don't usually put a sealer on these because it's a bookmark. You could do something like a UV resin or something over the top if you are worried about the vinyl peeling at all. Now, I would wait 72 hours before actually using the bookmark. To finish the bookmark off, I would also put a tassel on the end. And finally, probably one of my favorites is the faux leather with HTV. And it's one of my favorites because this is an extremely permanent way to make a bookmark. This HTV is not coming off of this faux leather, and the faux leather is very, very durable. So in my opinion, this is the most durable of the 3. So let's take a look at how to make this bookmark. For the HTV version, you'll need some faux leather, and I have some colorful faux leather here. Some HTV, as well as your weeding hook. And then you'll need some type of heat source. You can use a heat press, an easy press, or even an easy press mini. And then with all of these, I do like to use these pre-made tassels. So at the beginning of this video, I showed you how to upload your design. So now let's take a look at how to cut the HTV version. Let's cut the faux leather first. I like to put it good side down on the mat. Now with these bookmark shapes, it would not matter. However, if you're cutting something with words and faux leather, I would definitely mirror the cut. And then we're going to press this down really well on the mat. And I do like to use the green mat for some extra adhesion. And I'm going to use the heavy cardstock setting, which gives us 2 passes over the cut. So we'll just go ahead and load the mat. Then press go on the screen to start the cut. The Cricut machine will then cut the faux leather. Once that cut is complete, just click unload on the screen to remove the mat from Joy Extra. Then you can just peel this faux leather back And as you can see, the bookmark shapes cut perfectly. So now let's cut the HTV. For the HTV, you want to put the product liner side or shiny side down on the mat. And you do want to make sure that your cut is mirrored in Cricut Design Space. As always, I use my brayer to make sure it's down well on the mat. Then go ahead and add your mat to the machine. And press go on your screen to begin the cut. Once that's done, click unload on your screen to remove the mat. Then we'll take a look at weeding the HTV and applying it. First thing you want to do is to weed your HTV. You're going to weed everything around the outside, as well as things like the centers of any letters. Anything that you don't want to add to the faux leather for your bookmark, you would weed away at this time. So just put the faux leather down onto an easy press mat. Then I'm going to add the HTV into place. Because the faux leather might be burnt by the heat source, I'm going to go ahead and add some butcher paper over the top. Now you can use a regular Easy Press, but I'm going to use my Easy Press Mini, and I'm heating it up to the second setting for HTV. Once that's heated up, I can just start rubbing that over the surface. You may have to go a little longer if you use the Easy Press Mini, but always use the recommended time and temperature for whatever HTV product you're using. Some HTV products are cool peel and others are warm, so be sure to check the instructions before you try to peel the carrier sheet back. One tip to speed up the process is to use something like a DTV cooling block to press that HTV down and cool it off at the same time. This will remove a lot of the heat quickly. Then once you're ready, you can just peel the carrier sheet back from that HTV, leaving it stuck to your faux leather. The carrier sheet on your HTV can often leave marks on faux leather, so I like to cover everything back up and go over it once again, just to even everything out and make sure it's stuck. This time you can peel back this immediately. Allow this to cool, add a tassel, and this one is complete. Here's a closer look at the completed bookmarks. This first version is made out of paper. Next up is the vinyl on the clear acrylic bookmarks. Then finally there's HTV on faux leather. All of these work really well as a bookmark, and it's just up to you what method you want to use to create them. Get the files for the versions shown in the video right below the video itself. That gives you 6 options for gift ideas using paper, vinyl, or even HTV to make a cute gift for any book lover on your list. So now you just need to choose which of these methods you are going to use for all of your bookmarks, whether they're to give as gifts or to use in books for yourself. So now you need to get those free files. So head to the description below the YouTube video and I will have the files for all 6 of the designs that I showed you in this video. So you can head there, grab those free files, and start making your bookmarks, whichever way you choose to make them. So now, if you have any questions about Cricut Bookmarks, drop down in the comment section, ask away. If you like this video and it helped you, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.